is this doing here? That's where I left that.
What is good, guys, and welcome to today's video. I am so pumped. New car, new build. We've got a lot of stuff to do, but the first thing we need to do is work out whether or not this thing 100% really has or hasn't got rod knock. As you guys know from the reveal video of me picking this thing up, the seller told us it had rod knock, but what it actually turned out to be, it seems, is the water pump belt had come off and gotten jammed in there and was ticking against the other pulley and belt. And that's what that noise was. And that's why it sped up and stuff with the RPMs. But after I did a little bit of a burnout,
oh my God, you scared me!
It then all of a sudden disappeared completely. And since then, like driving it in here, I've driven it around a little bit, and it hasn't made any more ticking noises whatsoever. So we may have gotten the deal of the century here. So first thing on my agenda was to get this thing up on the hoist. We want to see if there's any bad rust. And you know what? I have to say, this is pretty crazy. I don't see any bad rust here. That's all fine? Wow. This is epic. True Floridian car. It's a bit of, you know, rail scraping there. She's a bit low, so I imagine if, you know, you hit some kind of high stuff, that should bottom out. But this is epic. There's not a single bit of rust, like no holes or anything anywhere in here. That is so good. Man, this thing is so clean. I'm so shocked. I was expecting to find at least a bit of rust. That is epic. There you guys go. Everything in the engine bay here, I mean, it looks a bit greasy and kind of oily. These things do. Looks like a bit of oil back here, so rear main probably needs to be done. Actually, it's a bit built up there, so it's probably more rocker covers or something. Rocker cover gasket. Let's drain the oil, do a service on this, get those fan belts replaced. And this thing's probably gonna be ready for some fun. Man, I can't get over how clean this thing is. Every time I look at this, it's just like the deal of a century. Such a good steel. So time to find out if we've got any bearing material in this thing. We got a fully clean pan here. I cleaned that out with brake cleaner. We got this already loosened off. Now, there's not much oil left in here, so I'm not expecting much. Let's just make sure this is kind of lined up. This is kind of ghetto what I'm doing right now, and I don't want this just going everywhere. So let's hope we don't get it all over Chris's floor. That would be great. 3, 2. Ooh! Oh, sorry, Chris. My bad.
What'd you do?
Made a big mess.
It's all right, you just gotta clean it. That ain't that bad.
Damn, there's a lot of oil in here.
Nothing. What is that little oil triggering out in front of it?
Huh? Oh, that's just it catching on the case.
Okay.
Wait.
I don't see any metal yet.
Yeah, me either. I didn't see any bearing material.
There's nothing.
Looks
nice
good.
Nice rod knock you got there.
Yeah, I know, right? She's fine. Other than the mess I just made on your clean floor.
It is what it is.
Nice. Thanks, bro. I appreciate you, Carlos.
You're welcome.
You're a real hero.
I am.
He's Hector today.
He's Hector today?
No, I'm only Hector when I'm behind the wheel of a Honda Civic.
Oh.
And when I'm standing next to it.
You guys, if you haven't seen Chris's video, go check it out. This guy drives it, breaks it.
Breaks it. He broke it already.
I broke it.
Of course, Hector breaks it.
Yeah.
Now you got to like drown him with like WD-40, like with like 10W40. Where's the new engine?
I've never been so happy to break a car in my life.
And the thing is, it's a Honda, so it's just cheap to fix.
No matter what you do, it puts a smile on your face.
It does, right? All right. Well, I don't see any bearing material. This looks good. We'll obviously suss it out once we drain it, but yeah, we made a big mess. We'll clean this up. Next thing on the agenda is to bleed some brakes. I got my sidekick in there. He's pumping. Hold it. Pump. Hold. Pump it. Hold it. Oh, there's a whole bunch of air. So I just finished bleeding all the brakes, so getting the wheels back on, and then we're gonna do a trip to AutoZone, get some new oil and an oil filter, and then pretty much this thing should be good to take around for a bit and just test and make sure everything's all good. Oh, we also need to get accessory belts, we need to do that as well, can't forget that. And then yeah, we'll take this thing, test it a fair bit, drive it around, beat on it a bit, just to make sure that the engine's definitely fine and there's no rod knock whatsoever. I want to make sure that's all good. The oil I am going to run in this is going to be what we run in our, our cars in Japan that we're beating on, which is 15W50 fully synthetic oil. We're not going to be running some like Prius oil in this thing, cheap stuff. We're going to be putting good, thick, fully synthetic oil in it. That also really helps with the lifter tick that's in the Miatas. So I can't seem to find any high performance 15W50 here. Like even their royal purple stuff is kind of a bit weird. So I'm gonna go and join the Rotella Club. A lot of guys run this in the high performance stuff over here in the States. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna run Rotella now to find a filter and accessory belts. You guys know what this means. Sneaky little, dude, I nearly hit that with my head.
I would have went.
Sneaky little stop at the skate park after AutoZone.
I'm landing my line today.
Yeah, you gonna get that line today? Gonna get that boss man? Hell yeah, I'm pumped.
Here we go. Not bad. He's not hopping though. He's cheating. That was a hop. Ooh, that was the flat. Yeah, you didn't hop over there. Oh. Nice try, dude. Oh, he's just riding. That wasn't bad. What is that? That was strictly just riding over.
Yeah, it was. Little bit of a short session today. Not feeling up to much, bit wrecked. But damn, this thing looks so good, Chris.
Doesn't it, dude?
Looks amazing for what it is. This thing is epic.
For what it is, that's the key word.
That's right. So just got back to the shop. We got our goodies down there. Now, assuming oil filters, where are they the easiest place to get to on these? Oh, they're in behind there? Okay, so maybe it's easy to get to from the top. We'll bring it down, we'll get that filter off, switch in a new one. I just went for whatever was cheapest, which turned out to be this STP one. We got our accessory belts here, so should be ready to get this thing all sorted out. And here's a little hint of what's to come. Where is, that's the water belt. I think this is the other accessory belt. Yes, so this is for power steering only. We're getting rid of the AC. That should give you a hint as to what's coming with this thing. All right, let's get this thing down, get that oil filter switched out, fresh oil in there, and then go for some rips. Sorry guys, I'm not man enough to do the Jimmy Oaks. Where are we at? Yeah, about 4 quarts. Let's see where she's at on the dipstick. All right guys, so I pulled down the whole front of the motor and we're ready to slip on the alternator water pump belt, which is this guy here. So this will go on there, and then we'll put this old belt back on for the power steering and AC for now. But what's really interesting is I keep finding like pieces of the old belt and stuff like everywhere in here. And like on the little timing mark here, it was all caked up around there and tangled up. So yeah, I think pretty confident that that's what that noise was and wasn't rod knock at all, because I've been going through all the oil in here and there is no bearing material in here. You can see some dirt and stuff that's kind of fallen in there, but there is no bearing material in this oil at all. In fact, the oil looks really, really good. The only thing that's probably wrong with the oil is I think the kid was also using some crazy, like, runny, really messed up kind of like, I don't know, like one weight oil, because it literally was like, it was kind of like the viscosity of like Autotrans fluid almost. That's how runny it was. It was like water. So I don't know what oil the guy previously put in there, but it was just not good. What? 0W30? Like 0W something. Yeah, it was bad. So anyways, we're gonna get these belts on and then we should be able to run this thing in no time. I'm actually really surprised how easy it is to work on this thing. I was expecting it to be a little bit harder, but yeah, all I had to do was take off the intake piping. I took off the radiator hose. Apparently you don't have to, but it was just easy. Why not? Took that off. I've sprayed down the front of everything to try and clean off some dirt and stuff, some brake cleaner. So got that a little bit cleaner. Pop this belt on, put it all back together. Let's go for a rip. I love these tools so much. So much easier to do your job. Look at that, pulling the alternator out. Make sure that thing's nice and tight. not gonna have any more problems. I was looking at this before and you can actually see the plastic's worn there from where the belt was hitting it and making that noise, that t-t-t-t-t noise, because it was hitting these gears because this was so loose. So what actually seems to be the issue? So when I went to undo the tensioner on the alternator, it was already super loose and not tight. So what was happening was the belt had a lot of slack in it and was hitting this, and that was what the rod knock sound was. This thing here, you see how it's worn away there? And then that's why there were pieces of belt all up and in there, because it was chewing through it. And if I can find the old belt here, it was just around here somewhere, one sec. Here it is. You can see where it started ripping chunks out of it, right? See all of this? And you can see that it was just wearing down on it. You can see like the markings in the teeth as it was constantly just hitting that and going tick, 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 tick. So yeah, that's all it was just a loose accessories belt. I'm still mind blown about this. Like, I feel bad. But, I mean, what are you going to do? I didn't know until we got the car here and I did a burnout and it fixed it. It's so, man, this is so good. Final touches now, and then we can start this thing up and start ripping. I'm so excited, like, genuinely. I still can't get over that that's all that noise was. It was ridiculous. All right, now we just got to top up the radiator with some fluids, water, and then we're ready to go, I think. All good. I'll get Chris to double check everything though, just to make sure we're all G, because I do not want to make a simple mistake that's going to cause big issues. First time working on Miata. So we are ready to crank this thing. I hate that I have to put my foot in the clutch for this. Make sure we're not in gear. Let's see how we go. Oh yeah. Back to life. No rod knock. All right, we got this thing off the hoist now. It's time to take this thing for a bit of a spin. Oh boy. There we go. Never thought I'd need a jack to get a Miata on and off the hoist. All right, let's see how this thing goes. Okay, here we go. Yes. Brakes feel solid as a rock too. Woo! All right, let's pop her into gear. There's the clutch. Ooh, lights. Wait, where are lights on this? There. There we go. Ooh, love me some lights. Okay. Yeah, boy. We are driving sorry, I nearly called it a roadster. The Miata. Yo, this got some pretty good pick me up. The brakes feel good. Probably need to do pads or something. Not too bad. Yeah, we need to do pads. I can hear those rotors not too happy. Probably rotors and pads need to be done. Yeah, this thing. What was that? You know what? I know exactly what that was. I lost a socket. Now, let me go get that because that's Chris's socket. There it is. I just found it. I'm so glad I remembered that. Oh man, didn't lose your socket, Chris. I knew it was somewhere in the engine bay. I couldn't find it. Good stuff. Lucky as. Glad we didn't take this out on the road just yet. All right, back in gear. Start ripping on it. We do need to put some new 95 in there as well. Just a bit like, how you going, you know? Honestly, I'm so surprised how well this thing like runs. So good. We'll take this thing for a rip tomorrow morning and we'll add that to the video because I definitely want to take this thing and do a nice big burnout and just, you know, put this thing under a bit of stress and make sure she's all good. Plus we got to get rid of these like dinky wheels and tires that are on here, so might as well send them off with a bang. But yeah, thing sounds great. Not a single problem. Literally can't fault this thing at all. It sounds incredible. All right, so it is the next day and it is sunset, and I figured it was the perfect time to do a nice big burnout and send this thing So let's do it, eh? You ready, Chris?
Oh, I'm ready, dude.
Yeah, let me work out where the wheel is.
Look at all this smoke. Oh, Jesus. Yeah. This dude's gonna crash. Woo!
So back at the shop now, guys, and I don't know if you can tell, but I'm smiling ear to ear right now. I am so pumped about the Miata. It seriously was so easy to do that skid, and it did it flawlessly. The drive home, seriously, the thing drives so smooth, it's insane. And we checked out the springs. They have H&R lowering springs on there. They're pretty good. It would be sick to be able to do something with a coilover company or something like that and be able to get some coilovers in the car. But for now, the car actually handles pretty decent for just lowering springs and standard struts. But yeah, anyways, all that aside, let me know in the comment section if you're pumped for this build. Lots of cool things coming. I think in tomorrow's video, we're going to be trying on some potential wheels that I've kind of got lined up depending on the fitment. If they look okay, we'll keep them. If they look terrible and too much poke, we're gonna have to sort something else out. But for now, smash that like button, leave us a comment, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out. Jamata.